Hey doll fans! Welcome to my partial doll collection. It takes a lot of work to assemble these guys. I am actually here to play Ravica Art's tag game. In this game we ask some questions relating to your doll stories, or I guess your dolls in general. So I guess they're general questions. They could be about your doll hobby, they could be about your doll story. So I volunteered and she asked me 3 questions. And I'm gonna do my best to answer them. It's a great exercise to ask these questions. We did a similar game where we asked people questions about their stories, and it's a great exercise. I'm really all for it. It's kind of inspiring me to maybe put out a prompt for everyone, like a long list of questions to kind of help you. It'll get you thinking, make you make decisions maybe about or think differently about your dolls, about your story. if that's something that you need to do if you're worried about your story. So she asked me some questions and I am going to do my best to answer them. The theme for my questions is, if you were part of your own story, and I guess that means that if I was in the story, if I was like a new character, maybe not. If I was, I'm guessing I'm not one of these characters. I'm my own character and I'm in my story, so can't handle it from that point of view. Oh, by the way, let me just explain this a little bit. These are all of the dolls that I have that are representing characters in my story. I even have Rivo, because it kind of dawned on me that Rivo is a red-haired elf. So he kind of does, based on that alone, he kind of fits another character, so he might as well be the character. So there he is, he's there. And I've got Kaisa's head. She's the only one that is awaiting a body right now. There she is. I love her veil. I think she looks good like this. Maybe I'll just hold her so you can see her better. If I was in my own story, question number 1, which character would scare you the most? Well, there's a lot, because I like scary, freaky characters, and I like to weave in some horror with my story. So yeah, there's a lot that I could pick. But the first reaction that I get in my mind is 2, and one of them is Sheldon to a doll, and the other one is not. But maybe in the future, I'm thinking I really probably should make that character into a doll. The problem is he really doesn't show up as his own form, because he's basically like an evil devil fairy who is possessing Dee. That's Dee's big problem. He's possessed. So that's that. You got that. You're gonna learn a little bit about my story, obviously, watching this video. So they're both characters are terrifying, but since the evil devil fairy, the devil, is he's one with this character, I'm gonna say this character, Lamrain, he's the scariest character. And I apologize that he's not done. I really wish you could see him in his full glory. It's gonna be awesome. He's like the worst character. It's like I went into this mode where it's like, okay, what's the absolute worst character you can think of? Maybe he's not the worst. He's like, but he's not good. He is just not someone you want to hang out with. Not friendly. All these other dolls hate him. He's the leader of a big, like cult of a bunch of evil sorcerers, and he's just bad. He didn't get to his position through niceness. He's just a really bad dude, and he likes to like inflict pain on people, but he can't stand taking pain on himself. He doesn't take that very well. So he just loves to inflict pain, and he's just really bad, and I'm not even very good at explaining on the spot to give you, but yeah, he's bad. Like he's obsessed with vanity. So that's one thing about it. That's why he looks really beautiful. So he's like a beautiful flower that's poisonous or something. He's got thorns or something like that. So there's that. I would be terrified of this character, and I think I would be right too, because all the other characters are terrified of him as well. So there. All right, the next question is, if you were in your own story, which character's bones would you like to jump? That was the question. And well, I have to I have to be honest, I'm not really comfortable talking about myself in that way. So I'm going to abstract the question and rephrase it a little bit, and say which character is the best catch. That I'm more comfortable with that. So that's definitely something that to think about, you know, in one's story. Who's the best catch, you know? Who's just the best, you know, the best eligible bachelor or bachelorette. So you might be actually thinking that I would say D, but you're wrong. I can't think that way about D. I wouldn't want to date him. Because I actually feel more like he's my son, you know? I feel like I am his mother. I always say that, like, I always, like, there's always, like, a fantasy that your book is gonna get turned into a movie one day. So thinking hypothetically, if my book were to get turned into a movie one day, and I get a cameo in the movie, I would pick to be an old woman who dotes over him grandmotherly like, you know? I'm serious. I want to play an old woman, even if it happens when I'm young, I want to play an old woman who dotes over him. That's just how I feel. So, he's not a good candidate for anyone else either. He's not a very good eligible bachelor. He's got issues. He's got that possessed thing going on. He probably wouldn't even go for it, because he's celibate. So yeah, he's just not very good with that. So who else is the best eligible bachelor? And, so thinking logically, I would pick from basically what I think a good bachelor is. Is what I would consider a decent guy, you know. So that would narrow down him and him. Lyska and Rivo. Lyska and Rivo are like grandfather and grandson. He's the grandfather, he's the grandson. This guy is like super, super old, but he maintains his youthfulness, and this is his grandson. His grandson would be a great eligible bachelor candidate. But he's very, very shy. And if someone were to jump his bones, he'd probably feel insanely guilty about it and then marry the person. Just out of guilt. That's how the elves are in my fantasy world. They have a lot of heavy-hearted morals. So he's a good candidate. He's a good guy. I guess I would choose actually Lyska, because he's so exciting and he's got all this charisma and he's just awesome, and yeah, and he would care about you. He would call you in the morning. Yeah, so that's it. He cares. So he's a great candidate for that. He's great. That's my answer, Lyska. And then the question number 3 is, which character would annoy you the most? And that's a really hard one. Which character is most annoying? But you know, it would be really hard to say. D annoys Kaisa plenty. But I'm not Kaisa. I'm me in this situation, I think. So, the first character that I think of is not pictured here. He's a character that will probably never be a doll, because he's like, he's a forefront character. He's like in the main hero party, but he's kind of pointless. He's not, well, he's not pointless. I feel like he's just there to fill an empty spot. You know, he's an icebreaker. He's supposed to be a comic relief, but you know what? He's not funny. I'm just not feeling it with this character. This character's name is Dell, by the way, just to give him a name. That really is his name, Dell. That's his nickname. So he's supposed to be like a comic relief, but I can't make him be funny. I'm really struggling with this character, and I'm picking him as the most annoying. Not only because he actually is annoying, he comes across as like whiny, you know, just always complaining and criticizing. So he is annoying to the other characters, and he's annoying to me as the writer because I don't know what to do with him, and I don't even know if he should be there. I've been like struggling with the idea that I should cut this character, but I feel like if I cut the character, there won't be like a buffer character, you know what I mean? And he also does a few tasks that are helpful, so like I would have to reassign those tasks to another character. But he's like a thief. He's the thief of the situation, so he can get into locks. So I feel like I wouldn't really have much going. I feel like I need him just because of that, maybe. Just because he opens some locks. Something. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, and, you know, I feel like he's supposed to have a side story, but maybe not. There's so many characters. We can't have a side story for every character, because I love creating characters, and I can't just have a conflict and resolution for all of them, can I? Some of them are really just background. So that's how I'm settling on him. He's really just background. He's kind of just there, but I have to figure out a way to wrap him up at the end. And like right now I'm working on book 2, and he's already not useful in book 2. So I really can't imagine where the crap he winds up in book 3. Book 3 is going to be the last one. I like the trilogy. I think 3 is the magic number for books. So that's it. My answer to this question is a character named Dell. He is annoying and he annoys me, and I don't know if I should get rid of him. So that's it. So yeah. So that's it. That's the tag. And now I think I'm supposed to tag somebody back, and I don't know. I'm afraid of putting someone on the spot, so I don't know. I don't want to do it without like their permission. So I'm actually gonna shoot these questions back at you, Ravica. What's your answers? I know you're writing stories too. What are your answers? If you were part of your own story, who scares you? Who do you want to do? And which character would annoy you the most? And also, I extend this questionnaire this question to like everyone. If you want to answer these questions, go for it. You know, just do what you want to do. Alright, so that's it. That's it. I hope that was entertaining, and I hope you learned something about my story. And if you want to hear more about my story, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable right now, like talking about it, but I want to try to tell you some stuff without really like giving anything away. Like I want you to get excited about it, so that then when it comes out, I can be like, hey, guess what? The book's out, and then you'll be like, yay.